Welcome to EPG Pathshala. I am Ravi Korisetter, Senior Fellow of Dr. V.S. Wakankar Archaeological Research Institute in Bhopal. In this presentation, we are going to enhance our learning on the transformation of Indus Valley civilization from urban phase to post-urban phase. This is related to the paper on pre- and proto-historic cultures of India in the subject of Indian culture. Objectives of this particular presentation is to understand the end of the Indus civilization and the various reasons that were responsible for this kind of event. To understand each of the reasons or causes in a detailed manner, to understand the opinion of various scholars who worked in this field, to arrive at a logical explanation to the transformation that occurred after about 2000 BCE. What we would like to explain is that the urban phase, which was the most prosperous phase, and that was the widespread over a vast area, and that was also characterized by extensive trade contacts outside the greater Indus Valley, and the prosperity was also associated with the systematic exploitation of resources which were widely distributed, and also exploitation of precious and semi-precious materials for producing a variety of goods, particularly the beads and so on, which were sought after by the Mesopotamians. As a result of this, the material prosperity that we see in the archaeological record gradually begins to wane. And one begins to wonder why such a dramatic change occurred in a civilization that was very well established in a wide geographical area, adapted to variety of regional environmental conditions. So it became essential for us to delineate the processes that were responsible for this dramatic transformation. The word transformation in relation to the decline of the Indus civilization is a recent usage. Earlier, terms like end of civilization, decline of the civilization, and so on and so forth were common phrases to describe the changes in the material culture from around 2000 BC or so. We saw in the archaeological record a great deal of prosperity, covering the time period from about 2600 BCE to about 1900 BCE. The dramatic changes that we have seen in this particular record occur after 1900 BCE. But we would like to trace the antecedents of this particular dramatic change that abruptly brought an end to the mature phase of Harappan civilization. As a result, many archaeologists have spent sufficient time in trying to understand and give a logical explanation to this particular transformational event that occurred during the turn of the third millennium BCE. So the investigations focused on identifying the reasons and also explain these reasons as responsible for the transformation. In addition to that, we also come across series of scholars explaining the manner in which this particular transformation occurred, and it is necessary for us to value the opinions of various scholars who have spent sufficient time in understanding the processes that led to this particular transition. Now, before we go into understanding various factors that were responsible for the transformation, I would like to introduce through slides the manner in which the spatial distribution of sites belonging to three distinctive phases of the development of Harappan civilization has occurred. As we know that this particular civilization had occupied the largest geographical area in comparison with the contemporary civilizations in Mesopotamia and in the Nile Valley. This particular map shows the distribution of sites during the early Harappan phase, which is also referred to as regionalization era. The site distribution is confined to the Indus Valley and further westwards and some sites are also found distributed in the Punjab province of modern India. Also, we should note that the cluster of sites are distributed in two widely separated geographical areas. There are a cluster of sites in the Sindh province of Pakistan, and greater density of sites are found in the upper Indus Valley and Punjab region, which is now divided between India and Pakistan. We also notice the increase in the number of settlements during the mature Harappan phase, and we have sites now distributed over a wide geographical area, although we see some spatial gaps in terms of continuity of settlements over the entire greater Indus Valley. And the increase in the number of settlements in Saurashtra and Kutch is of interest for us, because this is the region where variety of semi-precious materials which were suitable for manufacturing beads were occurring. In addition to that, the coastal regions of Saurashtra and Kutch were also facilitating fishing of shells and such other material for manufacturing variety of ornaments. This map now shows that there is again a spatial gap between the distribution of sites and site clusters. While we have continuity of settlements in Saurashtra and Kutch region of Gujarat, large number of sites and with higher density are now situated in the Indian part of Punjab, Haryana and Rajasthan. And this was the time period where we see the settlements become much smaller than the settlements which were much larger during the mature Harappan phase. So we all know Indus Valley civilization flourished between 2600 BC and 1900 BCE in the Indus and Saraswati river valleys. The result of an integration of several regional Chalcolithic cultures in Balochistan, Sindh, Cholistan, Gujarat, Punjab and Rajasthan gave rise to a wide network of settlements of various sizes, including large urban settlements like Mohenjo-daro, Harappa, Dholavira, Kalibangan, Rakhigarhi and so on and so forth. This particular civilization survived for 700 years, after which the urban characters of all the settlements begins to loosen and evolved into regional cultures. So that is why this region is also this particular phase is also referred to as regional localization era. This localization era is also referred to as post-Harappan or late Harappan phase, datable from around 1900 to 1300 BCE. Mark Canoyer, who has done extensive work on the rise, expansion and decline of the Harappan civilization, observes that fading of first urban civilization into the background and many new cultures emerging in the eastern, southern and northern edges of the Indus Valley. And he was particularly interested in giving an explanation to this kind of transformation. Earlier understanding of the end of the Indus civilization was that it arose quickly from the formative base and ended with equal rapidity. It took almost 1,000 years to shift in cultural and political centers from Indus Valley to Middle Ganga region. But this understanding has undergone a drastic change. Is increasing number of investigations in a multidisciplinary framework have given rise to a new understanding that there was no abrupt end to the prosperity of the civilization, but otherwise the transformation of the civilization occurred very gradually, as reflected in the archaeological record and reflected in the survival of many traits even after the urban phase in the archaeological record of the post-Harappan or late Harappan periods. Scholars who have been working on this particular issue of decline or transformation of the Indus Valley civilization have given their own theories or propounded their own theories. One relates to the Aryan expansion or invasion by the Aryans into the Harappan province. Another relates to the natural calamities such as a dam causing the decline of the settlements. Some of the settlements were certainly affected by the rising backwaters in the event of an obstruction to the flow of Indus waters. In other words, there is another theory which also ascribes the transformation to drying up of the Saraswati river. This Saraswati river was flowing parallel to the Indus Valley. And for more details on the Saraswati river's relevance in understanding the decline of the Harappan civilization, I would like you to go through another module on the Saraswati river itself. As regards the theory of Aryan invasion causing the decline of the Harappan civilization, there is one more module which explains why Aryan invasion was not primarily responsible for the decline of the Harappan civilization. Then there are some scholars who have invoked climatic factors as responsible for this particular transmission as well. And another group of scholars are now looking for economic reasons, economic factors responsible for the decline, reflected in the kind of decline in the trade with Mesopotamia, and also changes that occurred in terms of network within the inland regions of the greater Indus Valley. Also, some people argue for drastic decline in the rainfall that might have caused desiccating environments. As a result of it, surplus agriculture was affected. There's another explanation towards explaining the cause of transformation in terms of tectonic factors. Tectonic factors are natural disasters which are caused by the movement of the earth. And these tectonic factors affecting the drainage network, the courses of rivers experienced changes in the way in which they were flowing across the region. That may have caused a lot of inconvenience to those settlements which were located on the banks of the rivers. For example, when one refers to Aryan invasion theory, whatever evidence that has been cited in favor of this particular theory comes only from the streets of Mohenjo-daro. Likewise, if tectonic phenomena was responsible for the changes in the courses of the river, this particular effect is only seen in the context of the Saraswati river. But changes in the course of one particular river may not be effective in bringing about the entire decline of the civilization, which was not only spread over the Saraswati river but on many other rivers, particularly the Indus and its tributaries. And we also have sites which are scattered not only on these main rivers but also in the regions far away from the major rivers like Saraswati, Indus. As we have seen, there are a large number of sites in Kutch and Saurashtra region of Gujarat. There are a large number of sites in Punjab and elsewhere. If Saraswati was the change in the course of Saraswati was responsible, or drying up of the river Saraswati was responsible, it should only affect those settlements which were located in the vicinity of this particular river system. There is another explanation given to the decline or transformation, and that explanation is called domino effect or failure in economy that has been observed along the settlements in Cholistan. This is also extension of the Thar desert westwards into Pakistan. So a large number of settlements have now been documented in this Cholistan desert, and it has been observed that one particular event gives rise to a chain of events of similar kind, and the cumulative effect is on the entire system. So this domino effect has also been invoked by some scholars. And during the period from about 1900 BCE onwards, what we see is emergence of local cultures which have been identified as Cemetery Hedge culture at Harappa, Bara culture in Rajasthan, late Kulli culture in Sindh, Jukkar, Rangpur culture in Gujarat, and so on and so forth. And these cultures have been now grouped under the late Harappan cultures. Now let us go one by one with the theories that have been propounded by various scholars. For example, the Aryan invasion theory. Excavations at Harappa in 1946 by Sir Mortimer Wheeler. In the report, he mentions about the theory of massacre of a group of individuals, men, women and children at Mohenjo-daro. He equates this evidence as due to the invasion of Aryans and accuses Rigvedic Indra for this massacre. Wheeler equates about a variety of cities mentioned in the Rigveda with the word Pur meaning rampart, fort or stronghold. Also mentions various references from Rigveda on forts and their quality. Forts or Pur and their qualities such as broad or Prithvi, wide Urvi, of metal Ayasi, autumnal Saradi with 100 walls, Shatabhuji, made of stone, Asamamayi, use of mud bricks in construction with epithet Ama, raw, unbaked, Indra as Purandara or fort destroyer, who shatters 90 forts for his Aryan protege Divodasa. This is a famous invocation by Wheeler to defend his theory of Aryan invasion of the Indus civilization. The Indus cities were identified as essentially non-Aryan, employing massive fortifications dominating the river system of northwestern India and, in their opinion, not remote from the Aryans. What it tries to explain is that the Indus Valley civilization was not founded by the Aryans, it was founded by the pre-Aryans, and so we have two major events in terms of the population that lived in this particular region. The massacre theory proposed by Wheeler was disputed by very famous physical anthropologist K.A.R. Kennedy and George F. Dales, who after examination of the Mohenjo-daro skeletons concluded that skeletons found in the upper layers of Mohenjo-daro are actually hasty interments, nor the remains of victims of a massacre. The historicity of Rigveda itself is beyond a consensus, and different dates were proposed by various scholars. We know that this was a oral tradition in ancient India, and the date of its composition is disputed even today. But certainly there is a consensus among archaeologists and ancient Indian historians that Rigveda can be dated from 1500 BCE onwards, but not earlier. Whereas we see the decline of the Harappan civilization occurring from about 1900 BCE. Scholars like B.B. Lal and R.S. Bist associate the geography of Rigveda with that of the Indus civilization. So this also tries to add to the conflicting theories that is being propounded by various scholars to explain the decline of the Indus civilization. Another theory which tries to explain the decline or transformation of the Indus civilization is known as natural dam on the Indus River. Originally, it was proposed by M.R. Sani, who hypothesized the natural dam based on thick bedded alluvium at two hillocks near Hyderabad in Sindh. This tries to explain that excessive silt was built along the Indus River downstream in the Sindh province, and this resulted in choking up of the deltaic region of the Indus River, and as a result backwaters increased, submerging the settlements. The presence of freshwater shells in this alluvium suggested prolonged submergence in freshwater. So in the excavations, they found large number of freshwater shells, and that was an indication of existence of settlements submerged under freshwater lake conditions. Later on, Rakes and Dales revived the dam theory and suggested the damming of Indus River near Sevan, causing inundation of Mohenjo-daro and other contemporary sites. This also suggests that this damming phenomenon did not occur only in the lower reaches, it also occurred in the upper reaches where sites like Mohenjo-daro are situated. According to this theory, this kind of damming up on the Indus River at a couple of places may have caused the abandonment of the settlements. Wasson proposed that the unconsolidated sediments of the Indus plains have very less structural integrity to hold a large dam. Poschel also draws attention to the breaching of Allaband, which was created in a massive earthquake in 1891, blocking the eastern estuaries of the Indus system. Poschel further elaborates that the transformation needs to be explained as a socio-cultural phenomenon of the Indus civilization and not to be found in the natural world of geomorphology. So that's what we see here is a gradual deviation from ascribing the fall of Indus civilization to a variety of natural causes, but to the internal factors within the Indus society itself. Another theory concerns itself with the drying up of the Saraswati river. This theory has been proposed by scholars like B.B. Lal, Bhagavan Singh, Bisht and others. They advocate that geography mentioned in the Rig Veda is of the Harappan region. River Saraswati, along with other rivers like Ganga, Yamuna and Indus, was a major river and is located on the west of river Yamuna and in between the rivers Yamuna and Satluj in terms of reference in Rig Veda, so and so. The remote sensing and satellite imageries indicate a river flowing parallel to river Indus and draining into run of Kutch, which is now identified with river Saraswati. Now, remote sensing technology has now come into application for understanding landscape changes that may have occurred during the course of time, particularly in the context of Harappan civilization. The landscape imageries have also shown the existence of a watercourse which is now dry. Now, this particular river has now been identified by many scholars as that of Saraswati river. It is now given the name like Gaggar, Hakra, Nara, Vahinda and so on and so forth. It flows from sub-Himalayas into Haryana, Rajasthan and into Cholistan desert and further south into Kutch region. The reason for drying up of river Saraswati is also attributed to capturing of its upper flow by east flowing Ganga system. This river capture theory is based on the fact that in the headwater area of the Saraswati river, the deviation of the course of the river occurred and this deviation resulted in capturing the waters which are flowing in the southwestern direction were now diverted towards the Ganga valley. Thus, the drying up of river Saraswati could be an important reason for the decline of the Indus civilization. Now, the climate change theory. Some scholars propose the setting up of aridity in the northwestern plains as reason for decline in the Indus civilization. This theory is based on the whole and core analysis of three saline lakes of Rajasthan, namely Didwana, Sambar, Lunkaransar. This theory is disputed by Gregory Poschel and V.N. Mishra, and they indicate that there is no sound evidence to indicate a climate change during the second millennium BCE. They also indicated that both freshwater and alkaline lakes exist in the same environment even today. Poschel further suggested that tectonics responsible for salinity of lakes. Against the background of these explanations, there is another set of scholars which argue for multiple reasons as responsible for the transformation of the Indus civilization. For example, Alchin proposes decline in trade with Mesopotamian regions. It came to an end around 2000 BCE and also caused a decline in local trade too. Reduction in rainfall, particularly in Sindh area, led to abandonment of Mohenjo-daro. Plate tectonics also caused changes in river courses. And as it has been pointed out by Poschel, that even today Sindh is arid and reduction in rainfall may not be a major reason. So scholars have been arguing with each other and trying to find inadequacies in the explanation given by various scholars and the reasons that have been cited. All these factors have certainly occurred in these areas, but one should be very clear about the fact that the Indus Valley civilization was very well adapted to the prevailing climatic conditions, environmental conditions in the entire greater Indus Valley region. Tectonics may have occurred, but it may have a limited effect on the settlements associated with the tectonic, the region which was affected by tectonism. Climate as such did not affect this particular civilization. Climate change did not affect the status of this particular civilization, because the civilization was widespread over a variety of regional environments, and the civilization was not fully based on exploitation of agricultural productivity of the region as a whole, because the civilization prospered on the basis of multiple products that were being produced in surplus. Alchin had propounded that reduction in rainfall was responsible for abandonment of Mohenjo-daro. But the studies carried out on lake course in Rajasthan do not very clearly give an idea of drastic change in the rainfall conditions. And the climatic conditions, particularly rainfall, intensity of rainfall in Sindh and Punjab may not have varied drastically from one region to another region. And so the explanation based on reduction in the rainfall also do not get support from other scholars. In recent years, Gregory Poschel has been one of the major investigators of Indus Valley civilization. According to Gregory Poschel, the reasons for the transformation are complex. It is not easy to understand, and that there are too many reasons. He also points out that only the urbanization processes changed drastically, while the same people of Harappan phase continued to live as farmers, herders, and many types of craftsmen. The settlement pattern from early to late Harappan phase clearly indicate a center of settlement which shifts gradually from west to east. In this context, I should again remind you why I was trying to show a couple of maps in the beginning of this presentation. We have seen the way in which the site distribution had took place during the early Harappan phase, during the mature Harappan phase, and during the late Harappan phase. So this particular third map, which indicates a great density of sites towards the eastern part of the greater Indus Valley, is relevant to this particular point, that there was a center of settlement which shifts gradually from west to east. So the environment of northwestern region is developed based on sound data, however affected by the several internal inconsistencies. Poschel also questions all the other theories in the light of his explanation. He suggests that tectonic movements were a major cause for shaping the drainage pattern of rivers, streams, and lakes during the Holocene. There is no denying the fact. The end of the civilization marks an increase in number of settlements in regions like Punjab, Haryana, northern Rajasthan, and western Uttar Pradesh, which is contradictory with the eclipse and aridity theory. These regions are also important in terms of dry cropping practices depending upon the monsoon rains. Different reasons for transformations in different regions cannot be taken as a whole for the entire civilization. The reasons for transformation in Sindh and Punjab may not be the same for Gujarat or vice versa. The writing system also undergoes a major change coinciding with the transformation of the Indus civilization. While it disappears completely in Sindh area, reduced considerably and transforms into a script-only representations on seals in Harappa and Dholavira. Abundance in graffiti from Gujarat, Eastern Domain, and also instances of characters of the Indus nature from Iron Age of Central India of 1st millennium BCE, thus indicating that the script disappears completely. Against this background, he also gives clear explanation to the fact gradual and slow transformation occurred at Mohenjo-daro during the last periods of Harappan phase, as indicated by the abandonment of the Great Bath and granary late in the 3rd millennium BCE. Thus, the gradual changes in the urban forms led to the culmination of transformations which occurred in the 2nd millennium BCE. As regards drying of river Saraswati, which is supposed to have caused a major impact in the abandonment of settlements, particularly in the region around Fort Deravar, which was an inland delta, which supported major agricultural producers, virtually being a bread basket. Paushal further suggests a domino effect linking the failure of economy in Cholistan with elsewhere, thereby causing the transformation. In other words, what he meant was changes that occurred in the Indus Valley were also having a chain reaction, resulting in similar changes happening elsewhere in the region as well as beyond. The major reasons proposed by scholars were Aryan invasion, climatic change as one responsible, and environmental factors, drying up of river Saraswati, tectonic movements altering the river courses, inland dam reservoirs, collapse in both internal and external trade with Mesopotamia and others. Aryan invasion theory is completely discarded now. The other reasons may hold good either individually or collectively. It's difficult to pinpoint a single cause of this particular transformation and only be understood in terms of large scale climatic, geomorphological, and archaeological data. Archaeological data clearly shows abandonment of settlements in Cholistan and Sindh, while continuation and de-urbanization in Punjab, Haryana, northern Rajasthan, and western Uttar Pradesh, as well as Gujarat, is also documented. Eastern domain of the Indus civilization area, one sees regional cultures like Symmetry H and Bara culture emerging after the urban phase. Jukar culture followed in Sindh and several regional cultures in Gujarat also. Overall picture emerges that even though the urban character of the Indus civilization ceased to exist around 1900 BCE, people of Harappan phase continued to populate the region, though in a different format, and survived as farmers, herders, and craftsmen in areas to the east and southern parts of the original Indus civilization. In sum, I would like to conclude by saying that there have been multiple ways of looking at the transformation of the Indus civilization. This has been a very exciting area of research amongst archaeologists in order to find a viable explanation to identify one single reason or multiple reasons as responsible for the decline of the Indus civilization. As we all know, Indus Valley civilization was widespread. It occupied a wide variety of environments. It also was spread along multitude of rivers and so on. And the causes that have been identified as responsible for the transformation may not have affected the entire region. While major settlements occur in the alluvial plains, equal number of settlements also occur in the regions outside the alluvial plains of the greater Indus Valley. The sites in Gujarat, sites in Rajasthan, sites in the Balochistan region, they were all associated with an entirely different landscape, and they were far removed from the immediate effect of the changes that occurred on the sediments associated with the drainage network. It still remains an exciting area of research for a clear understanding of the causes that were responsible for the decline or transformation of the Indus civilization. Thank you. If you combine your study of this particular quadrant with the e-text, you will have a clearer understanding of the phenomenon of transformation of the Indus civilization during the time period from about 1900 BCE to 1300 BCE. Thank you.